I did pull together a case study from a large pharma customer. So this particular customer has been a Cloudian customer for a number of years. And what we saw is they had a particular solution around SIEM where they were using Cloudian as the storage for SIEM. But this particular customer is using does electronic transmission of prescription. So it's a prescription platform, service more than 1 million prescription a day. They were heavy users of the SIEM platform, and because they're in the pharma space, you're talking about compliance requirements to store all of these prescriptions and the logs coming out of when and how these things are done for almost eternity. So huge ingest rate of data, huge amount of data required in the compliance realm to be stored for up to 7 to 10 years. And all of this comes with a massive cost from a ingest perspective, from a storage perspective, and so on and so forth. So what we are seeing as a great use case for Cribl, this customer has moved now to an observability platform built on Cribl, with Cloudian being the data lake behind it. They ingest all of their web logs, prescriptions, and other kind of streams coming out of various different sources using Cribl from a variety of sources. They store the data in full fidelity into Cloudian so that they can retrieve it at any given point in time when there's an audit, when there is a need to go back and see what was done. And then they take only a sliver of that data and route it using the replay function through their SIEM products, which is definitely more cost-effective way of being able to index and search, analyze things just in time for only the things that you require. With this particular model, they were able to reduce their cost by almost 40%. And also, they were able to reduce the time for searches, which was, typically a needle in a haystack search in a lot of time, to a much manageable matter of 10 to 15 minutes. Because now they're just they're first doing the search on all data and getting only the time frame of data that they're interested in, and then getting it through the platform from an indexing perspective, thereby reducing their overall search times also.
We actually had a couple joint customers that ended up saving a significant amount of money by moving a lot of in that earlier scenario with their SIM product, getting the data that they were just not searching. They were using very expensive elastic block storage, if you're familiar with AWS, EBS volumes, moving off of some of those for their cold storage. And they were actually still on the legacy version of that SIM product, but still they had a lot of data sitting in this storage location, and they saved. The number was kind of like, I didn't believe them at first, but moving petabytes worth of data off of those EBS volumes to object storage saved them a significant amount of money and also headache. So for them, it was a lot more flexible to have that data sitting on an object store and replay it as they needed, instead of having it sit on EBS volumes with potentials of losing that data if the EBS volume fails or the instance fails. So again, having it in a more resilient object store and having the freedom to send only what they wanted to send back into the system. So if they needed to do any kind of threat analysis or breach analysis, they had that data to replay, and they could send it to multiple destinations. So again, liberated the data out of their current system and moved it into a more flexible object store.